Hey peoples, this is another movie review of Disney Plus's Togo, and this movie is kind of blah. Now the reason I felt this movie was kind of blah is because the movie never makes me care about it, or specifically care about the important things in the movie, which are the sick children and the journey that our main character is on. So let's start off with the sick children because that part's more serious and where I feel the movie mainly fails overall. Okay, so this is based off of a true story where an infection hits a town and it's mostly targeted on the children, and the townspeople are trying to figure out how to get a serum to the town in order to get rid of the infection. But here's where the movie falters. It never shows us how serious the situation is. They tell us that the kids are sick and they tell us that they need to get the serum, but that's about it. We don't see sad, crying, depressed parents. We only see the sick children twice in the movie. Once is near the beginning where our main character, played by Willem Dafoe, is looking through the window of the hospital and sees some children who are sick. And the second time we see the sick children is where the doctor is reading to them in their sick bed. And at that point of the movie, I was just like, I don't care about these sick children. That sounds completely harsh, but when the movie doesn't set it up correctly for me to care about them, when you show them later on in the film, I have no connection towards them. I don't care about their survival because you haven't created that emotional attachment to them. So that was a big issue for me in the movie. And that lack of attachment also connects to the journey in the film. So our main character Sepala is going to head off on a journey in order to get the serum and bring it back to the town. The problem is there's a big giant storm between him and the serum. So that's what creates the danger or the excitement within the movie. Here's the biggest issue. Every single thing looks fake. The storm looks fake, the ice that they travel on looks fake, the snow looks fake. There are some scenes where it just looks like it's green screen. It just does not feel real and it does not look real. And because it doesn't feel real, the danger doesn't feel real. So it takes you completely out of the movie. So the movie doesn't make me care about the sick children, and the visuals don't make me believe the danger is real, so that whole section of the movie pretty much fails. What doesn't fail is the Togo section. So the movie operates in two time periods. We have the current time, which is the sickness portion, and then we have the past where we see Togo as a runt dog growing up, and basically our main character arguing with his wife about, oh, we need to give Togo away because he's just a runt, he's not going to be useful, and dogs are tools, we can't keep him as a pet. For some possible reason, they don't explain why they can't keep him as a pet. But anyway, that whole storyline happens in the past, and that's the best part about the movie. The actual Togo story is more engaging than the present story about the sick children. And it's because it has heart, it's warm, it's funny, it's enjoyable. You connect with the character of Togo and the wife and the husband and their dynamic and how cute their relationship is and how cute the dogs are and what Togo gets into and all this other stuff. All of that's very engaging. You like that completely. So that's the best part. The issue is that it's not the whole movie. If that was the whole movie, this movie would be pretty good and be a good watch. But we cut back and forth between Togo growing up in this family and present time where we have the sick children, which is the lackluster part of the film. But speaking of filming and specifically the visuals of this movie, the movie has this weird film border around it in certain scenes, like it's kind of dark brown / grayish. I don't know what that was about, but it was really odd. Also, the movie has a certain tint over it during the present time scenes. It's kind of this gray / bluish tint. I guess it's for aesthetic reasons to make the storm look more real. And also it's a contrast between the past, which has a warmer yellow tint upon it. But the gray tint to the movie was very distracting. Where the movie does succeed in visuals is the scenery. There are some absolutely beautiful scenes in this movie. That was one of the best parts of the film. Also, the acting was really good in this film. I liked every single character, and even the background characters do a solid job. The only weirdest acting part is this little child near the end of the movie. Now, this isn't a shot at the child actor because yes, mostly child actors are pretty bad or mediocre. It wasn't the child's performance, it was more of what the child said and how it seemed to not fit the child. Basically, the child asked the main character a question, and it was a pretty dark question, and it felt like it was out of left field. I think the reason it was placed there is because the bulk of the action in the movie had already happened. So now the movie's kind of dying down, it doesn't have any excitement whatsoever, so I guess they added that strange question from the child in order to invoke some emotion within certain characters, which it does, but it feels forced because it seems so strange that a child would ask this dark question. If you watch the movie, you'll see what I'm talking about. But speaking of watching this movie, I suggest that you do not watch this movie. For me, the movie is too uneven. You have the good part, which is mainly the story of Togo and him growing up. That's all interesting and that's executed very well. The other portion of the movie, which is the sick children and the journey into the storm, that's handled poorly and makes it super unbalanced in the film because you're going back and forth from current time to the past. So it's basically good to bad and bad to good and back and forth throughout the film. So no, I don't suggest watching this movie. But that's all, peoples. Thank you for listening. Please do me a big favor and like, thumbs up, subscribe, retweet, comment, all the comments. I love the comments. Please continue to have a great day. God bless. I'll talk to you later.